never stops. All right, come together.
The answer lies in the heart of battle.
King of Iron Fist Tournament.
Mugen TV versus Corner.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Hey guys, it's MugenLord here, and I'm back again with another video. And today is going to be a Real Talk video, Real Talk episode 4. And the reason why I want to do this video because I feel as though it's really important, and I feel as though I have to get this off my chest. I feel as though it's my responsibility as not only a content creator, but as, you know, a father and an adult who has an audience of, you know, young adults, you know, minors up to adults that watches my YouTube content and everything. And I feel as though that this is the perfect time to talk about it. I'm not going to monetize the video, and I just want to just go raw with this. There's no script. It's just all my thoughts. This is coming from the top of my head, and I feel as though this is an important discussion that we need to have as a community, the Mugen TV community. So what am I talking about? What is MugenLord talking about? Well, if you guys don't know, for the past couple of days, the Smash Brothers community and the FGC, which is the fighting game community, has been under fire. I mean, rapidly under fire. Now, I sat on this for a couple of days because I didn't know whether or not, you know, I should talk about this. But then I waited for a couple of days, and I was like, you know what? I think it's important to talk about it. So for those of you who don't know, which I won't go into farther details because you can actually look this stuff up here on YouTube, Facebook, or any other social media platform because it's still going on right now. Now, so if you guys don't know, what's been going on in the Smash Brothers community and the FGC is that a lot of victims has been coming out lately with allegations of, you know, sexual assault, rape, and being under the influence of alcohol, and certain Smash players involved in, you know, sexual acts with a minor. I mean, it's crazy. I don't even know how to describe any of this. And what's so crazy about it is a lot of people didn't expect it to come from top players. I mean, top players. Like, if you're part of the Smash community or you watch some competitive Smash, when I say top players, you know the top players that I'm talking about. The top players that you see all the time on YouTube, you know, at these tournaments, these gaming events, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But it really caught everyone by surprise, especially the younger fans who really look up to these players. And me as an adult just looking at this, and I'm an adult, and it caught me by surprise because, you know, you look at these players and you just admire, you know, their skills and what they do, and, you know, and they inspire you to get better at the games that you enjoy playing. And you never think about them as, you know, a human being or an individual, because you only see them for who they are on screen and what they're capable of doing as a professional player. You never think about who they are outside of that. So when you see and hear things like this, it just kind of just blows your mind. But at the same time, I'm not too surprised. I'm just surprised by those particular individuals. But as in general, the culture and the toxicity in these type of communities, you can find them in any community. I don't care. It can be gaming, it can be anime, it can be comics, it can be in film, it can be anywhere, Hollywood. It doesn't matter. It's toxicity everywhere when you have a community and everything. Now, the Smash community is like in a dilemma right now because a lot of people is losing hope. It's because after a lot of the victims that came out, it really put a damper on the image of the Smash community, and a lot of people are wondering, will this be it for the Smash community? Now, I remember a pro player named Hungrybox always had a grudge with Nintendo, you know, talking about how Nintendo doesn't support the Smash community, because the Smash community had to work hard through grassroots in order to get the type of spotlight that it has right now. And Hungrybox felt as though that Nintendo should put their money where their mouth is and support the Smash community. And now Smash had made it to such high recognition, and now it's at Evo. ESPN covers it every once in a while. This grassroots community fought so hard to get here, and now with all these allegations that has came out, it really to me set the community back in a way. And after hearing what Hungrybox and his fight to have wanting Nintendo to put into the community, at this point, I don't think Nintendo's is not even to bat an eyelash to want to put money into the competitive community. And I think this is something that now reassures Nintendo that, hey, we're not going to do nothing. We're not going to support this community. We're not going to put money into this community, and we're going to just pull out altogether because of this. And it's really crazy, and it's really sad. I really think this really has set the community back. But a lot of people see this as an upside that this thing's got exposed, is because now, since they know that these type of people are, in some people's opinions, monsters, and that it's time to pretty much clean up this community, weed out the bad apples, and do a hard reboot, a hard reset, something that you would do in a comic book universe, and you just reset the universe and start all over again. So a lot of people see this as an upside, and I also see that as well. That it's about time to pretty much reset the community and start establishing guidelines and rules on how to protect minors and just minors, women, and not even just that, just people in general, because it's not just a certain group of people, it's just people in general, because you have cruel people out there that will prey on any kind of person, no matter what gender they are, what age they are, and everything. I just think that this community has fought so hard to get to where they are today, and for it to get ruined by people that has been accused and has been proven to be these people that the victims had claimed that they are. So I believe that rules need to be established, and there needs to be a change in the community to make sure that everybody's safe. Now, I think for the simple fact is, and I know I'm going on a tangent, I know my ideas are all over the place, but like I said, this is raw, this is me coming off the top of my head. I feel as though, a lot of people's asking and wondering, how did they get here? How did Smash get here? How did the FGC get to this point? When did it happen? When did it start? And in my opinion, this stuff has always been going on in the community. I just think more so in the Smash community is definitely damning, for the simple fact is Smash Brothers is a Nintendo game, and it's a Nintendo property. So a franchise like that is going to attract minors into it. And now we live in a day of an age. If you think about in the past when Melee, was coming in, everybody, it was pretty much like a niche group. People get together, they play, they have fun, and no one really knows any of the players, who's the top player or anything like that. It's very isolated. And once we had pretty much gotten to the Wii U generation, and around that time of the Wii U, also Twitch began to pick up, live streaming became a thing, and all this type of era in social media and just in gaming in general, it allowed the Smash Brothers community to grow. It made more people aware of this community, this competitive community in Smash. And now that we have streaming on Twitch, YouTube, everybody's trying to be the next big streamer. Everybody's trying to be the next big pro gamer and everything. And you have young minors who watch these streamers. And then, of course, now that we have Smash Brothers in the mix, now you have minors who watch these players, and they look up to these players. And these players have pretty much have grown a celebrity status. And that's what social media has done. With Twitter, these These gamers has able to be able to get in contact and be able to get feedback from their fans, receive validation from their fans. So from looking at this, and from my personal experience of being part, and going to locals and within the Smash community, within the FGC, just by going there, you have to understand when you go to these type of events, and you look at the type of crowds and the type of people, and from looking at the allegations, a lot of these pro players and the victims themselves, a lot of these minors and a lot of these victims, a lot of them come from broken backgrounds. A lot of them have been running away from their past, and what the Smash Brothers community has brought together is a bunch of broken minors, young adults, and grown adults. And I notice when I go to these locals and these game tournaments and these big events every once in a while, my brother Keel Answer DX Strike and we would go, and sometimes our dad would tag along with us because he likes to film and everything like that, and we put videos together. I do interviews and everything like that. And I noticed when I went to a lot of these Smash get-togethers and events and everything, and the vibe that I get and the feel that I get from a lot of these players in these communities, a lot of these people and a lot of these gamers and these pro players, a lot of them truthfully are socially awkward. A lot of them are broken. A lot of them have disabilities and other type of social issues. And with Smash Brothers, it brings all of them into one area. And then, like I said, you have different groups. You have the minors, you have the young adults, and you have the adults. So now you have a group of people who are socially awkward, and a good majority of them doesn't grow up. So a lot of them in these groups, they start off as, minors to young adults and become full grown adults. And a lot of them haven't changed as far as, personality, or a lot of them haven't grown up as far as their maturity is concerned. So now you have a bunch of you have a bunch of adults who still have the mentality and the attitude of a kid. And what happens is these players end up gaining, God status, celebrity status with that kid-like mentality. And since they have this mentality, they let it go to their head. And then now you have young players who look up to these pro players. They go into the community because they were inspired by these players. And then these players end up taking advantage of them. They let their power go to their head. They take advantage of these minors, and they take advantage of other people while being there, and they use their status to get what they want out of people. And it really sucks. It really sucks. And just hearing the stories, and like I said, I won't go through all the allegations and everything, and you can go look that stuff up yourself. But I just want to stress this point is that we have to get out of this point to where we're idolizing regular people. These are people who just play video games. They're just good at pressing buttons. But we give these type of people so much recognition, so much validation, and we make them so much more bigger than life than what they actually are. And like I said before, a lot of these players are socially awkward. A lot of them have no control over their life in the real world. So the only place that they have relevancy in, it's in the gaming community, in the competitive community, and whatever game that they play. So that pretty much, now that they have some type of control, because they couldn't have any other control in their life, they take that control and it goes to their head, and they end up taking advantage of that and end up becoming the very thing that they hated, in the life that they grew up in. Either getting bullied, taken advantage of, assaulted, and everything like that, and they end up becoming that very thing that they hate. And that's the sad part about it. So we idolize these type of people, and since we idolize these type of people, we believe that they can't do no wrong. And since we believe that they can't do no wrong, and we meet these people, and these people try to take advantage of those individuals, and those individuals end up falling into that trap. is because they still see them as a person that's higher than life and above them. So it allowed these people to easily be manipulated by these players. And it wasn't just pro players. Also, it was also commentaries within the Smash community that was doing this type of stuff as well, which is like, wow, man, I just can't believe it. I don't know, man. It's really, really rough. It's like really hard just hearing some of this stuff. But besides that, I just think we also have another issue that we also have to address while people are coming out to share their stories and to expose, these people who's been hurting and victimizing these people. I think another thing that needs to be addressed is the fact is how we handle these people once these stories come out. What do we do? How do we handle it? Because we live in an era of cancel culture, and this is a double fold thing, because on one end, it's good that these people are coming out and sharing their story and to pretty much get these things, these lived experiences off their chest so they can move on with the rest of their life and hold these people accountable. But we also have to remember that we can't be the court of public opinion as well. And I'm always going to stress this. I've been stressing this on my live streams and everything. It's good that these people's coming out. And I also want to stress is that the moment these allegations come out or the moment these people speak up, I'm not saying do not believe. Because it's this narrative that says believe all women or believe all victims. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go by that narrative because the narrative is dangerous. Because you'll be a fool to just believe anything that you hear, because anybody can go on the internet and just type anything and believe it. And I'll get to that point in a minute. I wouldn't say believe all women. I wouldn't say believe all victims. I would say listen to all women and listen to all victims in general. Just listen to them, hear them out. I think that's the important part, is to hear the individual out, hear their story. But on the flip side, we also got to hear out the person that's being accused. Because we got to get both sides of the story to understand the full story. Because it's his story, her story, then it's the truth. So we can't just hear the victim's story and then pick a side. No, we have to hear both sides. And we have to deal with it case by case. Because I believe in innocent until proven guilty. And when it comes to the internet and social media, it's guilty until proven innocent, and we shouldn't go down that route because this is dangerous. And like I said before, I'm going to keep stressing it again, that it's important that these victims come out, and it's important that these people seek justice, and hopefully justice will be served. But we also have to do this responsibly, and we have to do it smart, because any false move in this thing, and if it's done wrong, everything that people fought for these victims can be all thrown away and uncredited if one false allegation or more false allegations, or people make the wrong judgment on a certain individual and end up canceling them, and that could ruin everything. And I say that is because I will mention this player, Mewtwo King, was a victim of false accusation. Right after all these allegations coming out for other players, someone had came out and said that Mewtwo King had done something, which I won't say here in this video, but it was so damning was because Mewtwo King then had to go on his channel and pretty much shame himself publicly and share something really, really personal to let people understand that, hey, I can't do this because of this. This is why I can't ever do something like that, because of this. So he had to publicly shame himself to prove his innocence. And then eventually the person came out and apologized for those allegations. But you got to understand that it's dangerous, because the moment the person came out with this, people believe that victim and believe those allegations. They all started attacking Mewtwo King. And that's where we have to draw the line. We have to set some type of limits. We have to set some type of boundaries if people are trying to help and these victims seek justice. We can't just go around just canceling everybody and just believing what everybody says because they said they were a victim. Right now, I can go on Twitter right now and make up something right now, and I guarantee you that 100% that a lot of people will believe what I say. If I go on Twitter right now and make up something, I bet you a lot of people will believe what I say. And that's dangerous. And so we can't make that type of call. We can't make that type of judgment. Because it would destroy and it would tarnish everything that people has been fighting for to bring to light. And it's not fair to the victims who has actually been victimized and had to suffer through the things that they have been suffering through. And I felt really bad watching Mewtwo King humiliate himself, to everyone just to prove his innocence. And that's really, really dangerous. And we don't want to go down that road. Cancel culture is a real thing. And as these allegations come out, I advise everybody to listen, but be skeptical at the same time until the facts come out and there's proof and enough proof and you hear both sides in order for you to formulate your judgment. Do not jump the gun, because I have a feeling if we continue to jump the gun and if things do get worse as more allegations come out, don't be surprised that because everybody jumped the gun and canceled the wrong person or ruined somebody's livelihood off of a false allegation, I wouldn't be surprised somebody commits suicide because of that. And if that ever happens, it's over. It's over. Everything, the traction that of finding out these abusers will all go to waste. It will all be eliminated and just for nothing if people attack the wrong individuals and accuse innocent people. So y'all have to keep that in mind. That's the last thing we would want to ever have to see from the Smash community or just the FGC in general. Accusing the wrong person, canceling the wrong person, destroy their livelihood, and then that person end up killing themselves. So y'all, we have to keep that in mind. You have to be careful of that. We do not want that type of blood on our hands. And then another thing, a player who plays Smash, he plays more so Melee, Hungry Box. Again, I mentioned him again because he recently came out with a video as well a few hours ago, and he was pretty much apologizing, saying that he needs to do better. Now, he didn't do anything like crazy or anything, but he was apologizing for flirting with women. And he was apologizing for being unfaithful, to his girlfriend. And I'm going to say this. Him being unfaithful to his girlfriend and cheating on her by talking to other women, seeing other women, and he admitted using his status as a pro player to talk to other women and everything. But I'm gonna say that to say this: yes, that's a scumbag move for him cheating on his girlfriend. But we should not take flirting with women or flirting with people in general and put that in the category of sexual harassment or sexual assault or RAPE or whatever. If the person is an adult and they have legal age, there's nothing wrong with flirting. And I think we need to not blur the lines or anything of that sort to the point where individuals can't even mingle with each other and guys can't shoot their shot and shoot their shot by taking a chance and to approach a woman, because now we putting it in the category of even flirting, whether it's cringy or not, and take that and make that as something as sexual assault and harassment. I think that's dangerous because to me it's going to mess up the interaction between men and women, or just interaction between people in general. I think there's nothing wrong with flirting. Flirting is healthy and everything. It's only wrong is if that person continues to force themselves after the individual said they're not interested. Then that's wrong. But there's nothing wrong with flirting with the individual. If the individual doesn't like it and say, hey, I'm not interested, then hey, go about your business, move on. But I think we're going down a dangerous road if we're going to start making flirting and conflating flirting as a form of harassment. I just think that would be messed up, and I just think we really need to think about that, because now we have people preemptively coming out, just apologizing, just in case somebody else will try to come out and say, hey, they did this or they did that and stuff like that. So everybody is pretty much on high alert, high stress right now when it comes to this situation in the community. Now, as far as the FGC is concerned, Evo Online has been canceled. Namco has pulled out. Capcom has pulled out. NetherRealm Studios has pulled out. Skullgirls, them Fighting Herbs, everybody pulled out. It's canceled. And that's because Mr. Wizard, the CEO at the time of that ran Evo, he has been accused of let's just say that he's into little boys. But a lot of allocations came out with that, and a lot of people pulled out. Maximilian, he pulled out because he was supposed to spectate Killer Instincts for Evo 2020 online. And he was pretty much saying that, hey, it was his dream. It was something that he couldn't wait to do. He loved Killer Instincts. He wanted to see Killer Instincts grow. He wanted to see the community become even stronger and united. And he just couldn't wait to do that. And that was ruined because of these allegations. And he decided to step down. And he said he would never participate in Evo as long as he was still CEO. So they pretty much kicked Mr. Wizard out from the CEO position and replaced him. But at this point, everybody dropped out. And it's crazy. It's really crazy. It's been going on for years in the FGC. It's been going on for years in the Smash Brothers community. And now everything is coming to light. And now everybody wants to pretty much Thanos both communities and start all over again. And I think that's really good. And start establishing rules. I just think the only thing that we have to be careful of is not get to the point that we're too sensitive and we're too cautious. We don't want to be too politically correct. We don't want to be too sensitive to the point where anything, even the slightest thing, is seen as offensive, or the slightest thing seen as like harassment. Then you're pretty much become this Puritan type of community, where you're walking on eggshells because you don't want to upset or offend anybody. So I think that in order for this community, the FGC and the Smash community, to thrive and to become stronger and well knitted, they have to come up with different ways and different ways to pretty much police the community. But it has to be balanced. It has to work for everybody, and it shouldn't infringe on freedom of expression as well, to the point where you can't voice your opinion, or to the point where you have to worry about not offending anybody. We can't get to that point either. So we have to find a balance, because if rebuilding the community is something that they want to do, that's good. But you can also destroy it by also putting too much restrictions on what can be done, what can be said, and how you can express yourself within this new shakeup within the FGC and Smash Brothers. So we definitely need to overlook that. We definitely need to overlook that and see how those changes and what we can do to make the community better. But I think both communities are going to be okay. Now, as far as Nintendo trying to whether or not they will continue to support the competitive scene for Smash, I don't know. They'll probably continue to support it in Japan, but as far as over here in the West, I don't know. That's up in the air. I don't know at this point when it comes to that. But Nintendo has also left a message as well, because they're upset too, and Nintendo is very disappointed after hearing all of this. But that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys understand what's going on, and I also want to say this too. Just like how these players were idolizing everything, I also want to say to my community too, I'm a human being. I make mistakes as well, and I also suggest that you don't idolize me as well. Don't put me on this pedestal. If I'm wrong about certain things, call me out on it. Don't be afraid to debate me. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, because you know how it is. You guys on my Discord, we all chill out. And what I do like about you guys, though, is when we do have disagreement, we're able to talk about our disagreement and even laugh and joke about it on top of that. So I'm a human. I make mistakes as well. Don't idolize me. Hold me up to a high standard, since I am somewhat of an influencer over my community. And I think everything will be okay. But for those of you who know what's been going on in the FGC and Smash Bros. Community, let me know what you think. How do you feel about this? Do you think this is the end of Smash? And do you think this is the end for the FGC? Or do you think this is something that needs to happen? We need to do a hard reboot to both communities, like the comic book universe. Let me know what your thoughts in the comment sections below. If you enjoyed this video of Real Talk episode 4, definitely leave your thoughts in the comment sections below. And stay tuned for more gaming content from MugenLord. And hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe. This is MugenLord. Don't forget to hit the bell to be notified. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out. It looks like you reached the end of the video. Well, while you're at it, check out some of my other discussion videos by clicking on the annotations below. And don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date with future content. Signing off.